Everyone, my name is Chris Brady. I'm the city manager for the city of Mesa, and it's my privilege to welcome you out on this beautiful day of paradise here in Mesa. Thank you for joining us for the ATS grand opening. This is exciting. I remember being here for the groundbreaking. You were here. That is Councilman Dave Richins, who represents this area. That's not a photo bomb. That's like an MC bomb or something. But we are very thrilled to be here for this grand opening. We appreciate the partnerships and that we've been able to establish with all the groups that are involved in this project, from the developer to the operator to the tenant of this facility. We're excited. We're very excited to be here. Let me introduce a few of our speakers this morning. First, we'll be hearing from Mayor John Giles, who's here with us. You heard from Councilman Richins already, and we'll get to hear again from him later. We also will be able to hear from Jim Tuton, who's here, the CEO of ATS. There's Jim. I didn't get to say hello to him yet. Hi, Jim. How are you? And David Krumweide, Executive Vice President of Lincoln Property, the company of one of the developers of the project. So, David, we're glad to have you here. The Lincoln Properties are very busy in Mesa, and we like that. They're choosing to do a lot of projects here. I also want to recognize our Vice Mayor, Dennis Kavanaugh, who is with us, and also want to recognize the President of our Chamber of Commerce, Sally Harrison. So thank you, Sally, for being here with us. We also want to welcome other representatives from the developers of the project, the Lincoln Property Company, and Harvard Investments, along with designer Davis Architects. So will all those who are here with Lincoln Properties and the Harvard Investments and Davis Architects, let's just raise your hand so we at least recognize you where you are. Okay, very good. It's always great. I remember, a lot of times when you do the groundbreakings, they have these beautiful, pictures, boards behind to show the building. You're going, really? It actually looks just like what we saw in the pictures, so well done. We want to welcome all the ATS employees. Would you raise your hand here? We want to welcome you to Mesa. All right. That also, you also just committed to having lunch at Riverview every day of the week for the next 6 months. So it's good. Thank you. Well, with that, let me introduce the champion of this area, the gentleman who represents this part of Mesa, Dave Richins. Dave, will you come forward, please?
Thank you. Look at all these esteemed gentlemen. I feel terribly underdressed. But hey, I wanted to say to the 464 employees, almost 500 employees of ATS, welcome to the neighborhood. We're so glad to have you as part of the Riverview development. We're glad to have you in District 1, and we're glad to have you in Mesa. Mesa is not the same as it was 10 years ago. Mesa's changed a lot. And having companies like yours become part of our family, I think, is a very important development in our maturity as a city. And to have your employees here, spending money here, come into our community, we're thrilled. We hope your employees will come and buy homes in our neighborhoods and send your children to our schools. You'll find that Mesa is a great community. It has a great school district and a lot of great opportunity. And I think you recognize that by locating your business here. So I'm thrilled to have you. I'm thrilled to have you in my neighborhood. I just live up the hill behind you. I drive past this building about every day on the way to work or on the way to the gym, which I don't go to very often, as you can probably tell, or to Riverview to eat. And so it's a beautiful building, and my compliments to Lincoln and their team for building such a great project, and to see another project coming out of the ground here shortly next to it. So with all sincerity, thank you for investing in our community. I appreciate it. Mesa appreciates it. And I hope that you'll roll up your sleeves, that you'll join the Chamber of Commerce, that you'll get involved in our United Way, that you'll get involved in our schools. I think you guys have already sponsored a Little League team, so thank you for that. But be part of our community. Mesa is a great community, and it gets even better with companies like you. Thank you.
David. At this time, we want to invite Mayor John Giles to come forward. Mayor.
Thank you. Let me just say amen to everything that Dave just shared with you. We truly are very excited and grateful for ATS's joining the Mesa community. When I talk to the folks at ATS, when I talk to the folks at Harvard Lincoln, I'm struck by the fact that these are very sharp individuals. These are people who don't make mistakes in the business world. And so it's flattering that they have realized the obvious, that this is a fantastic location. Locating at the intersection of the 101 and the 202, where you're literally minutes away from airports and a short walk away from great retail. And this is clearly a great example of everyone involved's business acumen. So congratulations and welcome to the neighborhood. ATS is a great company. It's wonderful to be involved in the safety business, and we endorse and encourage that as a customer and also as a supporter. So we appreciate your commitment to our community, and we want you to know that we are equally committed to your business and doing all that we can for you to thrive here. At the legislature and every other location that we can be an advocate, we will, and we're excited to have that opportunity. So thanks again to those of you who have invested your faith and your treasure in the city of Mesa. We very much appreciate it, and we're going to do everything we can to continue to be supportive of that, what I think is a very, very good decision. So thanks and welcome again.
I want to make sure I got everyone here. Jim, you need to come up here too, don't you? Come on up, Jim. We want to invite Jim. Come up. I got to meet Jim years ago when we were clients of ATS. So when I heard that they were moving to Mesa, it was great because we already had a great working relationship, and so we knew they were getting a quality partner, a community member. So welcome, Jim, and.
Chris, Mayor, Councilman, and I appreciate all the support that we have here. What's really interesting is Chris will remember, and David and others, that we were here, I think about 50 or 80 feet from here. It feels like yesterday. It was about a year ago. We talked about this, and it was our groundbreaking. Chris, remember that? It's a beautiful day just like this, and we talked about what was going to be here. And I think we had, as you said, or as he said, we had pictures of what this building was going to look like, and here it is. I remember running, I didn't do the Phoenix Marathon, but I don't know, why is it called the Mesa Marathon? It's in Mesa, but anyway, I ran it. I ran the 10K part of it, and I ran by last year. It was dirt here, and they had earth movers working, and then this year the building is up, and we're part of it. It's been a big journey, and I'm really proud of what we've done as a company, but I'm proud of all of it. The city of Mesa has supported us in every way. We've had, whether it's Lincoln or Harvard or Davis or our employees, and Kathy Wilkins, who she shouldered a big load on this building as well. But it was incredible collaboration with the ATS team, who many of them are represented here, but there's about 450 more people inside who participated, and we've got a few hundred people around the country who don't get to enjoy this incredible building. A lot of thought went into it. Our number one asset really are our people. But it's our people and our customers, and one can't exist without the other. And a lot of thought went into this building in terms of the design. It wasn't just a pure design, cost-driven, and how do we put as many people as efficiently and economically as possible. It was about the functional design and how to meet and merge this building with our needs and our wants and our culture, and how to serve the customers and the people so they feel lucky and grateful every day that they walk in, that they get to be in such a beautiful place. And when you have an opportunity to walk through the building and see what we've done, I think it's pretty incredible. And it's not over the top, but it's just perfect in terms of the environment that's created, in terms of the color palettes and the space and how it's functionally designed so that people can collaborate and work together in a really effective and efficient way. And it's the modern way of being. And we had opportunities to rent buildings at a lower price. That didn't have the performance and the benefits that this building gives us. And I think we're going to see the performance that'll pay for itself. And I think a happy employee group means that happy employees mean happy customers and vice versa. And I think we can grow and thrive. Our goal is to double the size of the business in the next 5 years, and we can do it right here. And we're based in Mesa. We're proud of that. And we think this is a fabulous environment to give the amenities to people so that you have access to, whether it's freeway access or retail or places to work out in the morning or afternoon. It's all of it's right here. And hotels, we have a lot of visitors that come in, and they're right here. So, as I was talking with the mayor earlier, and when we decided to move, we had 2 buildings, one in Scottsdale and one in Tempe, and we needed to bring it together so that we could be unified as a business. Where should we be? So we did geocoding and zip coding and said, well, what's the best place to be? And ground zero was the 101 and 202, so we're looking for buildings that were somewhere around 101 and 202, and all we found was a beautiful piece of dirt right here, and that's where it all started. So we built the building in ground zero, and if it's ground zero for us, I think it's ground zero for others, and I think the testimony is that there's a building going out of the ground right next door right now, and I think this will be a fabulous place to work. So I know I've been given 3 minutes, and I usually keep my speeches at least within, do I keep it within the 3 minutes? Anyway, I have more to say, but I think I'm looking forward to giving a tour for those of you who would like to see one, but I'm really excited about the building, the way it looks, the way it feels, and the way we're going to function and perform here. So thank you for everything. Thanks.
So kind of following this, I realize we're kind of following this family theme of brothers coming together and doing great things. So with that, David, let's invite you to come forward and say a few words if you would.
Jim, I think you actually stole my speech. So, but you should go in the development business. I don't know if you've ever thought about that. Hey, thanks for coming out, and I appreciate the City of Mesa and the ATS folks for putting this together. Just a quick story. My brother called me about 1.5 years ago, a little bit over that, and said, "Hey, I've got some friends that might need some office space. Would you like to meet them?" I said, being the good developer that I am, I said, absolutely. A few days later, we met with Adam and Jim Tuton, and I said, gosh, what are y'all looking for? And they said, well, we want to consolidate our offices from Scottsdale and Tempe, and we need about 100,000 square feet or so. I said, fantastic. Where would you like to be? And as Jim mentioned, he said, I'd like to be near the 101 and the 202. We call it Grand Central Station, but in any event, so I said fantastic, and I actually happened to be looking at this site with a friend of mine, Dave Carter, who's here with CBRE, and literally pulled it out of my briefcase and said, this is a great location. We think it's got a lot of potential, and I'm happy to hear that ATS feels the same way. So literally started this project about 1 year ago, delivered in 10.5 months, thanks to Doug Clokey. Our director of development with Lincoln did a fantastic job, so thank you, Doug. We think this site, and again, hopefully the folks at ATS agree, with 1.3 million square feet of retail literally within walking distance, the new Sheraton Riverview Park that the city's worked so hard on, obviously Cubs spring training, 10 minutes to Sky Harbor. We just think it's a fantastic location. A couple thank yous along the way. I want to thank my brother Craig and Chris Kacheris with Harvard. The Davis Experience, who designed this, they happened, just for reference, designed the Marina Heights in Tempe as well. We think they designed just a fantastic, modern, creative office building for us. Westpac Construction did a great job. Dave and Luke Carter with CB have done a fantastic job with marketing. And then obviously Mayor Giles and Councilman Richins and the rest of the City Council and Chris as well, and Bill Jibjiniak's been just great supporters of ours. Let's see. Last, I think ATS has done a great job just delivering the creative amenities to their employees that are important in employee retention, and then also in new hires as well. So we think hopefully you'll have a chance to walk through it, but we think we think that the project delivers that. So along with that, we think it's sort of a great location, and backing that up, Harvard and Lincoln recently purchased the buildings next door. We're going to start painting them, Stacy, here in the next few weeks, I think, and so we are going to rebrand this into the Waypoint development. It'll be 4 buildings, about 435,000 square feet. The paint scheme will look very similar to what you're looking at here at the ATS building. And then, as you probably heard the noise next door, we're starting 152,000 square feet next door, and that'll be a 3-story building. So if y'all know any tenants, we're happy to talk to. In fact, I'm meeting one after this meeting, so that's good. But appreciate everybody's support for the project.
All right. Well, we want to thank everyone for coming out. Was there anyone else that we needed to have say anything? Just trying to make sure we had every opportunity. We're good? All right. Well, I think let's get to the business at hand. Let's get that ribbon cut. So let's invite the speakers. If they would all come forward. And, Dennis Kavanaugh.